Hey, just wanted to give everybody a quick market update in Weiss Schwarz and particularly in the sets that are coming out soon or have already come out. So I just want to throw this out there. If you have not purchased Bofuri and you want to get that soon, you might want to do it. So what I've been seeing lately is, and again, I'm using TCG Player, but the reason I'm using TCG Player is because I don't want to use other people's site. But what you're going to notice when you go out onto other people's websites, other stores' websites, you'll start seeing that Bofuri is actually sold out. Something about the trial decks, they don't all sell out. I'm not really sure on that. But the booster boxes definitely are being bought up. And again, to me, what I actually think this is really people want it. They like the anime and they want to have it. There's signature cards in it, so they're buying it up. So if you have any inkling in your mind that you want this set, you might want to go ahead and start buying it now. That's my warning to you. Whether you go with that or not, feel free. I just find this funny that the best selling stuff is all the different sleeves and all that. And again, I haven't actually ever paid attention to like the actual supplies that go with sets, but to me, this is at least a healthy indication that people are going to be playing and they like this anime. So, again, I already have my purchases in, so I am happy with it. But be sure if you're going to do this, order sometime soon, as this is coming out at the end of May. Next, I want to talk about is Data Live. I think I saw on Facebook that someone is confirming a distributor is going to say Data Live is going to be available end of June. So June, July, somewhere around there, you're going to start seeing Data Live. So again, it's pretty holding strong, this price here, around the 149. Trial decks are still hanging out there, and our girl here is still hanging around the 15. If you actually go inside of here, it's around 15. So again, we know trial decks are going to be reprinted. So if you want it, you may want to pick up the card or the trial deck itself. And we also have found out that part of the reprint is not going to include a playmat. So if you wanted a playmat, again, I don't know if there's just somebody with tons of these things, but at the very least, we know there won't be a reprint of playmats. So the supply that is out there is going to be currently out there. Lastly, Madoka. Madoka comes out end of April, and there's still plenty of them around. So if you want Magia record, feel free to pick some up again. And this is why I say again, the whole scalping thing, overblown, just because we saw that with Data Live, which we knew was going to be a strong set, high demand, a lot of characters that people love. That's not going to happen with every set. You could go, well, didn't you just say Bofuri is selling out? And I'm like, Bofuri is middle tier. When you think about like what's it gonna do in competition, but you have a lot of characters that people love and it has signatures, so people are obviously going to be excited for this set. Last thing I want to talk about here today is again this. So I wanted to talk about this and address this just because again I've had comments on my video just about how I hate the term scalping. I want to just say resellers, right? Resellers is the real term that I want to use here, that it's bad for the game. And again, I think you're looking at this from a short-term viewpoint, right? So when you think about the video that came out from Alpha Investments, he said he bought a bunch of boxes. Do you know what boxes he actually bought? Do you know what boxes people have been buying? It's not the sold out stuff like Ray Zero Volume 1 or 2. It's not Konosuba Volume 1 or 2. Or actually, I was going to say Crimson, but that was probably in there. You don't have those kind of boxes. What again it was like, what? Batman Ninja, probably Crimson. You had maybe FGO, maybe, what else is in the Mob Psycho, right? These things have been sitting there for a while. People didn't want them. And I know Bang Dream Volume 2 was one of them as well. These things have been sitting there a while. Nobody was really buying it, right? Anybody that needed to buy it would have already bought it. The people that, again, if you didn't have money, you didn't buy it. Unfortunately, you didn't buy it. But at the same time, you had an opportunity to buy it. No one stopped you from buying it. Data Live, again, was something that was huge demand and people wanted it. So that's what ended up happening there. So again, here's a simple equation. And the only thing missing from this equation is time. People are looking this in the short term, right? So as all things happen, businesses such as Bushy Road and Weiss Schwarz together, right, is they print about 3 to 4 months before actually releasing. We can kind of tell that just by what's happening with this Data Live second print. So, again, companies like this sell cards. That's what they want to do. And so they are going to adjust in order to sell more cards. So right now, if we think about the short term in this part of the equation, people are going, oh man, the prices are going to be higher. But there's other things you're missing from here, right? What's the other part of the equation? Those stores that held on to product, as in Crimson, as in Nazarick, as in Mob Psycho, I can guarantee you they were probably really happy that somebody came along and bought them. So not only do you have higher prices, you have happy stores. They can take that money and invest in more Weiss Schwarz in the future, or they could just do something else with it. So, again, they're not going to be, even though you want product to just be sitting there on the shelf available to be picked up at any time, there's people that don't want that to happen that way, right? So again, in the long term, what we're taking a look at here is, again, from what I have said, hypothesized, right, that they've been buying the boxes that had the least amount of demand. In the long term, what that's actually going to do is this increased amount of interest in the game is going to, again, have Bushy Road going, okay, we could take a chance and print more of this set because we know there's going to be more people buying it. Printing more. So if you take a look at Pokemon, Magic, Dragon Ball, the solution has always been they need to print more just because you're saying these people are looking to resell it. But the way to counter that is by printing more. And again, what everybody's been complaining about is Bushy Road doesn't print enough product, and that's why it's really hard to find, and that's why prices are higher. So wouldn't really the solution here to be print more? We know they didn't want to print more because people weren't around to buy it. So, in the end, having more people have an interest in the game and buying more stuff is exactly what we need. Because again, the prints will be higher, and even then, we might even get a reprint. We saw that with Data Live. So again, higher interest, more demand in this current low print run means they're going to have to change the equation. Because again, they want to make money. So overall, lower prices. And again, what happens with this kind of publicity, even though it's not the publicity you want, is there's going to be more players, more interest into the game, and we need a healthy growth of players. This is one way to do it, right? There's a couple different ways to do it. This is one of the ways. And again, you might not want it to be that way, but this is reality. This is going to happen. This is currently happening. And you know what? We just got to live with it, right? So the other thing you need to realize is this. I hate this term too, game pieces. This right here is from the game Battleship. Do you remember? Right? Battleship. People, I keep hearing the term game pieces. Like, yeah, I mean, you use it to play the game, but this right here, what you really are trying to say is you have a need versus a want. This right here, to play Battleship, you need to have this piece. You need this. Like, you need this ship inside of this board in order to play Battleship. This right here, whoops, is a stack of cards. Weiss Schwarz cards, to be exact. This one too. But the main difference between this and that over there is you don't need these. to play this game. I need to take this stack and make a 50 card deck, right? But do I necessarily need this SR to play this game? No. You want it, right? You want this thing, and you don't have it, but you don't need it to play. Where this thing, I actually need to play. I guess you could just make a mark on the actual board to say that the ship is there if you lost the piece, but you get my point, right? You don't need these. These are more ones. I know, again, you're going to say there's some double R's that are in the 40s, 50s, but again, it's a collectible card game. Not everybody's going to have the same cards, right? Like, if that was actually true, then you could just buy these trial decks. Guaranteed same cards in every one of them. If you really wanted a game that you could just play that was affordable and everybody had an equal chance, Bushy Road would just stop and just make trial decks all day long, right? You wouldn't need booster boxes. Booster boxes, inherently in their design, is supposed to make you chase cards. There's different rarities and different values of these cards. So I don't know if people are ever going to get that, and I get it. We all want to have a sign card. We're not all going to get it, and you don't need that sign card to play the game. So, whereas you need these ships in order to play this game. All right, and in all honesty, I really wish there was more. In the purest form of Weiss Schwarz, trial decks are the best thing that they have going on it, because again, you fell in love, for the most part, most people fell in love with this game because of the anime that's sitting inside of this box, right? You wanted to play it because you wanted to play this game. I love trial decks and teaching people to play trial decks and just going trial deck versus trial deck, because again, it's in its simplest form. You have a bunch of characters that you love versus another person that has characters that they love, and it's just a whole lot of fun just to see it, play it. It's a low entry into the game, and if there were tournaments with trial decks, you just grab a mystery trial deck from a bag, I would do it. I think that'd be a whole lot of fun. Anyways, I hope you have a nice, Wednesday? Have a nice Wednesday.